Okay, I had to open those doors. Sorry about the introduction. You know, I never really understood until now that that was the Tesla factory that we've just gone through. And boy, they are crazy busy there at Tesla. Good job, Elon. You are so busy. Get some sleep, dude. Pepe, why are you partying with Elon today? We should probably bring Elon on. It would probably help the show if you stop partying with Elon over it. Okay, well, I did have footage of the Tesla factory. Thank you, Hammer Dookie. 25 months, and that alert just letting everybody understand that that is actually the way I talk most of the times on stream, and that's what you're gonna miss if you leave. Let us watch tonight. Now, this is interesting. This is 11 minutes, so it hits our sweet spot for the time that we like on the Inside Star Citizen review. We're very critical here, but we are constructive in our criticisms. And one of the things that I love is when the Inside Star Citizens are longer. I like longer Inside Star Citizens because it is a produced show. Excuse me. Oh, God, I just choked. I choked on my own spit. My spit is not supposed to make me choke. Hold on a second. Hold on. Nobody makes me choke on my own spit. All right. So, let's start the show.
Star Citizen is a globally distributed project. With 5 studios across 4 countries and 2 continents, people from all over the world have come to Cloud Imperium to help make those tandem games we're creating all that they can be.
And Clean Cut Jared, very professional. Can we get some applause on Clean Cut Jared? I take him much more seriously when he's clean cut. I think England did some good. England, can we get some applause for England? Bloody old England. Hello, England. Look at what you've done to the governor here. He's... All right.
But the Persistent Universe and Squadron 42, with some minor exceptions for Xi'an and Banu, have been a mostly English affair so far. That single language focus is not uncommon during the development of any project, but as we approach the next major milestones for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, it's become time to begin the process of expanding our language support to match those of our players and communities around the globe. With that in mind, we'd like to take this episode of Inside Star Citizen and introduce you to one of the newest teams being built here. Now, currently less than 6 months old, let's meet some of the folks working to bring localization support to Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
I'm Yagoda. I am the localization lead at CH.
Soy Brice Fajardo, soy especialista en control de calidad de localización y vengo de España.
I'm Jonathan Lowndes, and I am the localization and English dialogue pipeline producer.
Hola.
Representing all gingers. Oh, God bless them. Way to go, dude. That is... Listen, a lot of people are saying, well, what the hell is video game localization? Well, I'm glad you asked because I've got the definition right here, and I will read it in English. Video game localization is the process of adapting a game so that players in different locations all feel as though the game has made for their particular region. It's a simple sounding concept that's actually pretty complex once you start looking at everything that's involved. Now, you also might ask, why? Right? Here we go. The main focus of game localization is to make the game feel culturally relevant. Put simply, anything that makes the game feel as if it wasn't made for the target audience will remove them from the experience. Thank you. That was the English-speaking portion section of the show, which I murdered. I just can't speak English properly. But I'll give myself applause for that. One might ask, who is this target audience? Who's the target audience? It's probably us. It's probably us.
Lounge, and I am the localization and English dialogue pipeline producer.
Hola, mi nombre es María Laura Palestrini, soy especialista en localización
You gotta catch
para
me when I got a
español en
good buzz
CIG.
on, professional.
Donc, je m'appelle Yannick Simon-Klein
The
et
English
je
gets
suis
better.
le spécialiste localisation à CIG à Francfort.
안녕하세요.
What's up, Anarchy?
한국어 로컬라이제이션 스페셜리스트 최유진이라고 합니다.
So each one of these people are tasked with making the game relevant to their cultural area, right? So this is cool. They're kind of forging a cultural sword, if you will. Where do you put it? I don't know. Watch out. Does anybody have a scabbard for it? Anybody?
Localization is much more than just translation.
We have the full control of the tone we want to give to the game.
The localization specialists want to break the language barrier.
We're really trying to give players the best experience we can.
And understanding how important it is to take games to other audiences.
Yes.
We started thinking about localization very early at CAG.
Well,
Yes.
usually localization is one of the last steps in game development.
In this particular situation, we wanted to make sure we have aligned.
He said it was one of the last steps in game development. Did you all hear that, by the way? Did you all hear that?
Everything from
Legal text, marketing, dialogue, scripts for dubbing, anything that has to do with UI,
Usually.
descriptions.
Fingers is very, very adept right here because he's saying usually. We are, of course, talking about Star Citizen. Fingers, good. Applause to Fingers for catching that. I thought I caught something, but then fumbled and Fingers scooped up for the recovery. He's running down to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown! Fingers, congratulations.
we want to make sure that everyone can enjoy the game, regardless of wherever they are in the world.
Yes.
Normally what I do, day-to-day basis is adapt to the text type I have to deal with pertaining translation.
We also have to adapt that whatever is not translatable in words is actually understandable anyway.
It's about experience, right? It's about culture.
I found
Thank
out
you.
from the Korean
Thank you,
community,
Adam.
they actually made this Korean patch for Star Citizen. And I guess that made me realize the users are actually willing to play games in their own language if they could.
I just feel like she needs a nightlife. Like, I feel like she's very uninspired and bored with what's going on, and I want her to be happier. Does anybody else feel that they want this particular woman to feel happier? I just feel like she needs a good time. Like, she just
That
needs
actually
to go out in Korea.
motivates me a lot.
Korea's supposed to be a
There are
blast.
a lot of conversations with other departments to
Northern
make
Korea
this
is a
as
different
immersive
thing.
as possible.
As LQA specialist, I'm in charge to, once we have those translations implemented in the game, to ensure that those translations are both working correctly and they are correct in the context.
We use a tool called Starwords, in which narrative inputs their English text, and after they approve it, it gets sent to us via the same tool, during which process we export it out into our translation tool.
Okay.
Then we translate it.
All right. I'm feeling a little bit like this right now. I'm feeling... No offense. This is cool that we're meeting this team. It is an important aspect in game development. However, I think what's even more... Okay, crickets. That's enough crickets. I think what's more important is that we have this global unification through server meshing and the ability to play with other people across the globe. I would love to play with the Spanish. I would love to play with the Finnish and the Swedish and all the issues. I would love to play with all the issues. I would all together. In fact, I really feel like just being able to touch all the issues would really make me feel like, yeah, the issues. The Swedish, the Spanish. Red Bear. God, Red Bear, you're my super mod. You got to keep it up. You got to keep up here.
Proofread it and edit and do any necessary corrections as needed, and then export it back into Starwords and from Starwords into the game.
Visually, you can see the work that an art team or a cinematics team do, and you can go, yeah, I can see the flair there. But it's not until you speak a lot of these languages, you understand that maybe there's an Easter egg, maybe the wording is
Right.
similar, is like lifted from a Han Solo monologue or something, and
Right,
then
like an Easter egg in America could perhaps be pickled dick in England. You know, like you got to be culturally relevant, right? You know, in England, you know, they don't call them Easter eggs; they call them pickled dicks, and that's just the way that is the important part of unifying of this all through localization.
you're like, oh my god, you squeezed that in and it fits. That's the coolest thing I've ever
what
seen.
pickled dick is supposed to do.
We have to be very careful to adapt the product to what, like, there is in a format and appropriate form for
I know there's one of you out there that
To
understands
be fair,
me.
I think a lot of
if one of you
Korean
understand
people
me,
fairly
I
familiar
barely
with
understand me.
Western culture, so we use a lot of like English words, sometimes as a meme, sometimes that's just as a like professional terms.
a word that is very, very common, and it's like in European Spanish people, to grab something
She's probably hungover, Hammer Dookie.
is said coger,
I agree
which
with
in
your
Latin America,
assessment.
in most countries in Latin America, it means to have intercourse. So that's a really funny
Is
difference
she
that we
Italian?
laugh
She's
about
having
all
fun.
the
She's
time.
just like, hey,
As a
party.
producer, I have my eyes 12, 18, 20 months down the line
Thank
at any
you,
given
Chris.
point because I live in spreadsheets and I have to
I
try
feel
and
the same way,
plan
Chris. I feel the
everyone's
same way.
schedules out all the way into the future. So having
Portuguese.
recently been spending a lot of time in that, there's some stuff in there that I'm not allowed to talk about, but I can't wait
Spanish?
until everyone gets to see it.
We are all very passionate about the projects, both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, and we want to make sure that the translations provided are the best possible. We know that our community is very engaged, and we know there have been other translation endeavors for Star Citizen as well. But we try to engage every single user, not only the people who have played the game
Engage
for a
us.
considerable duration
Make
of
it
time.
serious.
So bear with us.
Put a ring on our
not every
fingers.
translation will be as you think it could be. We will try to make improvements as much as possible, and we hope that you're going to like it.
The Siege of Orison was the Persistent Universe's biggest and most ambitious dynamic event yet, pushing at the seams of AI, server performance, FPS systems, and more. And while it recently returned to players in last week's Pirate Week celebration, we wanted to check in with the team and discuss some of the fixes and adjustments that went into this second wave of events, and the advancements to all of Star Citizen that came from this technology-stressing event.
We were watching the same stream at the same time, and I see Elliot
giving him little hints,
desperate to give away
Elliot.
the secret.
Elliot
I was
stops
just
by from
very
time to time on the
excited.
And
stream.
it's getting more and more obvious. And I'm like, Elliot, maybe, to a point where I can't write what I want to say in the chat anymore, so I'm texting him.
Stop.
Just stop. You are going to give it away. And ultimately he did.
Elliot. Let's hear it for Elliot.
The whole point of Siege was to push FPS and healing gameplay, right? Like, and looting and all that. Like, been in the game for several releases, some of it, and like it wasn't being used to its fullest extent. And we thought, well, what better way to use that and actually show players that they know the consequences of being down.
Slim Jim, how you doing, buddy? Oh shit.
The cool thing about Siege is when we have a big event like this, it gets us a lot of sort of
Now I have to pause this so that his face is doing something crazy. It's becoming tradition. We have to find Elliot's face being a little bit crazy, and I have to talk at least 5 minutes while his face looks crazy. Hold on a second here.
improvements
we can find
to
the
the
crazy
game.
face for
You know,
Elliot.
because
Damn
in
it.
Siege there was some sort of more of a focus on looking at some of the back end type performance, and they found issues,
Maybe we
and
should make
that's
Elliot's face
unlocked
the
100 player servers for people. It helped to push.
Yes, I do believe we in fact need an Elliot slow-mo. Just to embarrass Elliot, because I love doing this to Elliot. I know you're going to watch this, Elliot. We are doing now a Elliot slow-mo time. Here we go, just for Elliot.
Was it?
Are you kidding me? Elliot beat up. Elliot, you rascal, you. You rascal, you, Elliot. You thwarted our attempts at just having fun at your expense. God damn it, Elliot. You are the new meta. Elliot is the new meta. That's the
Over the
first
course
time
of
that's
it,
ever
like
happened to
already
slow-mo.
running, you know, me and Luke was watching streams and we was having constant conversations as to ways we could improve this mission.
Oh,
Not
of
only
course,
for
of course,
future
Elliot.
iterations on it,
Of
but
course.
also just in the quick patches we can get out. We
I
fixed
can't slow-mo it
the
now.
bug
It's already
where
been done.
when you completed an objective, you wasn't instantly paid. You should have been instantly paid, but instead what was happening was...
Thank you, Captain Explodo. Touch the Koatu DG hands. Touch them. I will not hurt you. Thank you, Explodo. I can use that to fix my car, which, you know, if I only need about 130,000 more bits.
It wasn't being given instantly, but it was collecting, so when the mission ended, it awarded it all at once.
Did you smell that, Tech?
We fixed a number of flow breaking issues as well, like where bosses would just fall through
I'll
the
tell
floor
you tomorrow.
and be unreachable.
It's terrible, Dashy. How you doing,
We
bro?
added
Good to
an
see you.
objective, a secondary objective for disabling
you,
the
Hammer.
anti-air and give a reward for it, so, you know, players knew that it was something you could do, but also...
Chaos coming in here, he's very upset. Now, this is the first time he's ever chatted. And Chaos is coming in here, and let me tell you what he's telling. They didn't fix the floor bug. I tried it 3 times this past event, and the boss to get the code to take down the double A, the anti-air fell through the floor, and it was unreachable. Holy shit! You know, we know. Listen. I know. Salad vibes. We know this. We understand. We know what game we're playing. Hold on. And another salad vibes. Please, Pepe, can we do the other salad vibes alert? Oh, God.
Warning. Incoming salad vibes.
Oh, my God. Woo, my ears. But yes, Chaos. We are very aware of the bugs. We know.
Isn't the main focus.
We've taken steps to prevent griefing around that
a little
first,
bit in my chair
area that you get off of a shuttle. We now spawn Crusader security that kind of take up guard posts at that shuttle stop. We hope that's enough to kind of ward off the griefers.
We changed how the ending kind of
Hammer. I
happened.
didn't know
Before
that.
it
That's
was
cool,
very
dude.
like you got an audio line saying please leave, and
Luigi,
then
don't
that
go back
kind
to
of
sleep.
reoccurred.
Luigi.
We also added this to the HUD so players
It's
can
me,
see
Mario.
actively a please leave. When any player leaves the area, the mission will complete for them, and they'll get all their extra rewards that were required. One thing we noticed was players were server hopping when the event had finished to try getting another event that had just started, and because of that, they wasn't getting all the rewards from the mission because of that bug I'd previously explained as well.
It's okay, Luigi.
We are working on
I
dialogue
can't have too big of an
improvements.
after party.
I've got heavy hits knocking down
Now
each
arriving
platforms.
at Solangi platform.
You don't stand a chance.
As we noticed, a few issues and ways we could tighten up some of the dialogue and audio lines. Working on extra things to do in the mission, so
Cool.
even if people do
Elliot's
arrive
on
late,
it.
they'll have something to
Professional.
do.
He is on
and
it.
many other things like that, but I don't want to go too much into it.
Thanks to everyone who's participated in Siege of Orison. It's been really fun watching you guys.
I want to do a little test here. Everybody who's actually enjoyed it, press 1. People who have not, press 2. Let's give Cloud Imperium some feedback on Orison right now. Through your experience, through your entire experience, 1 or 2. 1, you're happy. 2, you're upset. 3, you just want to go to bed. And Red Bear wants to go to bed. Kronos wants to go to bed. There's a lot of people saying, "Hey, I just want to go to bed." But there's a 1. There's a 1. It looks like 1s are winning right now. People happy for the most part. Hammer Dookie coming in with DG Impossible. DG Cruz. I remember when I had hair and I did that. I remember that scene. That scene was very difficult. Thank you, Hammer.
Just because.
Thank you. God bless you. That will help with my car. Thank you. 1 and 2. Chaos, a little bit confused. His name, very accurate. Chaos, not quite sure. That's what Chaos does. Chaos is never quite sure. Haven't played since the reset, said Kronos. Very good comments on the YouTube videos, my friend. Thank you for being very active on YouTube and helping. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have yet to do any events, says Tech. You're probably mining, aren't you, Tech? Are you out there just relaxing, having a cool time, having a chill time? a lot of people would say, experts in fact say that you can't go anywhere without getting ganked or blown up or griefed. But tech is finding a way to do it. Kronos says, love your stuff. I appreciate you. Yeah, see, look, tech can find very peaceful places and not have to worry about getting grief because there's a lot of space in Star Citizen. You know, there's a lot of space. And he's got his big boy pants on. He's got his big boy pants on.
Are you a big man? Huh?
Yes, he
I'm talking to you.
does, Tech.
What?
You have
you
your
wake up in
big
the
boy
morning, you gotta
pants
put on
on.
a big boy pants.
Yes.
Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy
Listen.
pants on.
You know what I love
Got
about
a little
Tech?
jacket, you go.
He's got a jacket.
You take your lunch because you got big boy
He's eating
pants
his
on.
lunch.
You got your big boy pants and your snack.
Thank you, Tech. Everything we are bringing in tonight will go to my car. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, Tech is a man I admire. He's a PvEer, right? For the most part, he's PvE, and if something were to happen in his world, thank you, Anarchy, that is also going to my car. I feel like things are getting better for me. Thank you. I feel like things will someday things will get da-ba-da-ba-doo-da-doo. Someday things will get brighter. Break it down. Oh, wait. Isn't that an alert? That's an alert. Listen, thank you for those biddies. But I want to reiterate here what I'm talking about because I lost what I was talking about. But it's about Tech. And he's generally PvE mode. And when something happens to him in the verse, touch the Quattro DG hands. They heal you. They heal you. Thank you. Thank you, Anarchy. And if something happens to Tech, I don't even understand how I'm operating like this. If something happens to Tech and a player comes in, for instance, say blows him up, and he's roiding it up. Tech's all about the roids. He's huge. Tech started off very skinny, but now he's like 500 pounds, all muscle, because he hangs around the roids all day. And if a player comes into his zone, it happens. It does happen. If a player comes into his zone, and which is very similar to loins. But if a player does come into his zone, what ends up happening if he blows up? He doesn't cry. He doesn't complain. He says, that's the game. That's what I'm playing. There's big boy pants right there.
Are you a big man?
There's big boy pants.
I'm talking to you.
He's got the big boy
you wake
pants
up in the morning, you say, I put on my big...
Yes. Thank you.
Guys, and here and
The
your
Zoin
feedback
Camp.
on
The Zoin
playing the
Camp.
event.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that
I'm crazy. That I'm absolutely, legitimately 110% insane. Thank you.
localization team is hard at work reinterpreting Squadron 42 for several languages and cultures around the world. That turning an eye to Star Citizen will begin with external web resources before they dive into the depths of the Stanton system, and that the Siege of Orison wasn't just a fun event for our players, it pushed the underlying technologies in ways that have improved experiences for every aspect of life.
I appreciate that they're putting these events in for players, for PvE and PvP. I appreciate what Cloud Imperium is doing. I appreciate Jared's face right there. I appreciate that particular facial expression right there as I'm trying to get my point across, because it doesn't take away from what I'm saying right now. In fact, it adds to what I'm saying.
In the persistent universe. Now remember that our CitizenCon livestream will be this October 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. UTC, and it's really like an entire season of ISCR
Look at the
crammed into
V-neck.
a single quarter day.
I feel
There's
dated
going to be some cool stuff.
without a V-neck.
For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all here next week.
Listen. Is there a little thing at the end here? Is there a little blooper at the end? No blooper this week? I think they should do a blooper at the end of every one of these. Now, listen, I would just like to say, I am currently shadow banned on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like this. I have no idea. I'm continually a target, and it's fine. And I'm not worried about it, other than the fact that I want to make sure that this community has other people they can hang with and have a great time with. Join our Discord, push the like button if you're on YouTube, and if you are here live, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. You are in for a treat, because we're going to have an after party. Peace out, YouTube. It's time for the party.